Hello chess lovers, Soren here, and in this video I want to share with you the third game of 1978 Tal vs Kasparov blitz match. Earlier I have already covered the first two games which Tal won, and now we're good to go with the third game where Tal had white pieces and he opened up with e4. Kasparov answered with c6, Karukan defense is on the board. Knight c3, d takes e4, knight takes e4, bishop f5. We see the good old classical variation. Knight f3, knight d7. Now in here white is usually playing h4, h5, and only then, once black bishop is retreating on h7, is offering the exchange of light squared bishops. But in this game we see bishop d3 straight away. So Tal is looking for ways of deviating from the main theoretical battle in order to surprise his opponent. And in this case, as still black pawn stands on h7, black is not forced to capture on d3. That's why in here we see queen c7. White castled kingside, e6 rook e1, knight gf6 c4, bishop e7, b3 black castled kingside, bishop e2, and a5. Well, rook a d8 or rook f e8 look more natural. These are even popular alternatives, but in the game we see a5 by Kasparov. In his turn he is also trying to deviate from a well-known path. Rook c1, queen f4. All in all, the players have equal chances. Maybe white's position is slightly preferable, but on the other hand, there are no weaknesses in black's position. Here Tal made a bold decision and he played d5. He's making a pawn sacrifice, and at the cost of which he's managing to open up this dark squared bishop's diagonal, and also is managing to activate this rook. C takes d5, c takes d5, knight takes d5, and rook c4, kicking away black queen from the fourth rank, and at the same time later white can even switch his rook into the attack from the fourth rank, and an exchange of light squared bishops on g6 followed. H takes g6, h4. At all costs white wants to destroy this defensive shield and target opponent's king. Bishop f6, and the exchange of dark squared bishops also followed. Knight e5, queen d6. Well, after playing a5 this time, b5 looks very tempting, kicking away this rook from c4 and then playing queen b6. This could actually give black better chances, but in the game we see queen d6. h5 by Tal, g takes h5, knight takes h5, rook a d8, and it was in here that the magician from Riga decided to take his opponent into a deep dark forest and went for a tricky knight takes g7 sacrifice. How do you like this move, guys? What is interesting, years later, in 1987, it will be Kasparov who will manage to beat Tal by going for a knight sacrifice on g7. Earlier I have already covered that game, and in case you missed it, the link I will pin in the comment section. But unlike Kasparov's sacrifice, which was very accurate, this one is unsound. And with an accurate defense, black can actually gain advantage. In the blitz, having no time to calculate all the possible variations, Kasparov hurried to accept the knight sacrifice, but this is losing. The best defense starts with knight e7. And now if you go for an exchange of queens, then in the end of the day it turns out that this knight on g7 is trapped and black can cold-heartedly win it. Or after knight takes g7, knight e7, if you try to keep alive your queen, then in this case already black can win the knight and then can cover his king with a knight. Yeah, black is winning. Now can you understand how important it was, this maneuver? In some lines it's allowing black to cover the king. Instead, in the game, after knight takes g7, we see king takes g7, and now let's see what's the problem with it. There comes rook g4 check. The rook on the fourth rank was waiting for his turn to attack, and there we have it. This time Tal is going for an exchange sacrifice. King h8. The second sacrifice Kasparov didn't dare to accept. Let's take a look what if knight takes g4. Then after queen takes g4 check, king h8. It turns out that this exposed black king has no chance of surviving, and soon the second rook is jumping into the attack and black is losing. Just no way out. Well, okay, you can play queen b4, but in this case, instead of accepting the queen sacrifice, white has this knight c4 move, and it's over. Let's go back in the game to rook g4 check. Black answered with king h8 and rook h4 check. King g7, queen d2. Now the queen will target black king from g5 square. Rook h8 and queen g5 check. King f8, black's position is totally lost. Just no way out, you know. Rook h7, the knight is pinned. We have another target. Rook g8, rook takes f7, king e8, rook g7, and then an exchange of rooks on g7 followed. Queen e7, and Kasparov lost on time. Although on the other hand, black's position is totally lost. As Nikitin said, this game is a wonderful example on how one should win in blitz. Psychology and intuition, inventiveness and determination, and of course all this in addition to your playing strength. In the end, a chess puzzle for you where the task is to find the mating line for black. As usual, we'll wait for your answer in the comment section. Feel free to check out my early uploads as well. We'll see you in my next video. Take care.